Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. This is Gordon Ryan, a multi-time world jiu-jitsu champion. He's known in the jiu-jitsu world for having a crazy physique, but today we're going to be reacting to the insane reverse transformation that he's just posted on his Instagram. In this transformation we can see that he's lost a crazy amount of muscle mass. He was already known well in the fitness industry for starting off as a skinny kid and then getting jacked out of his brain. Now it seems like he's went all the way back to his starting point. Now it's important to know when we see reverse transformations like these that it's not just caused by coming off steroids. It's not that simple. If anything, that's one of the smaller factors that's at play here. There's so many other different factors which are going to negatively impact your physique, such as intracellular glycogen levels, hydration, food consumption, having good lighting. We can see in the transformation, the lighting in the first picture versus the second picture is completely different. It's good lighting versus bad lighting. No longer having a pump 5-6 days a week. Sodium and electrolyte levels. The time of day can even affect how your physique looks. We look leaner in the morning, we look softer in the evening. Posing and flexing, look at the different poses that he's doing. The first picture, he's posing, his chest is flexed, his abs are flexed, the lighting is good. The second picture, he's standing there slumped and relaxed. And then finally, something that I haven't seen anyone talking about is body hair. In the first picture, he's got no body hair on his abs, he's completely shaved, so you see all the ripples in the abs, whereas in the second picture, he's got body hair on his abs, and that does make a difference, hence why you'll never see a hairy bodybuilder get on stage. They shave all the hairs off so it enhances the definition even more. If you've got hair on your physique, you're not going to be able to see the muscles pop through as much. Now if you take a super close look at the picture, I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that he isn't miles and miles away from that first picture when you consider all these different factors. And I think the main ones that are making him look a lot smaller are the bad lighting, not having a pump, no sweat on him, less food intake and therefore less glycogen levels in his muscles, the pose he's doing, and having more body hair. Now it's a pretty serious problem he's been going through. Gordon has documented a few months ago how he got strep throat, and he ended up having to go on a 40-day long course of antibiotics, and since then his stomach has been messed up, which a lot of people don't talk about enough. Antibiotics can severely mess up your gut bacteria. It removes all the good bacteria and all the bad bacteria, which can cause all sorts of immune disorders and long-term health defects. And antibiotics can mess some people up to the point where you can no longer eat normal regular foods and you have to go on special diets. A lot of people have to go on carnivore diets or ketogenic diets where they avoid carbs completely, and it takes a very, very long time for you to introduce and phase carbohydrates back into your diet, and we're talking years here. So as we say, antibiotics are no joke, and the guy is definitely going through the ringer right now. I'd also just like to add that I personally like Gordon. I like what he stands for. I like athletes who put themselves out there, who try and rise above the rest personality-wise and have really good marketability, like Conor McGregor, like Israel Adesanya, like Gordon Ryan. And I think he's one of the main leaders outside of the Gracie family who have made jiu-jitsu more popular and more mainstream. So you can hate on him all you want. He's done a lot for the jiu-jitsu community, but a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, really dislike him because of how much he talks smack. And as I say, it's similar to Conor McGregor. If you go on every single Conor McGregor Instagram post, there will always be haters in the comments, no matter what, and usually they are the top like comments. But it's because the people who love and support these athletes don't comment or don't feel compelled to comment something positive as much as the haters feel compelled to comment something negative. And since Gordon has been suffering, the hate comments have got really out of control. Before we look at the comments, this is how we are used to seeing Gordon Ryan. Pretty jacked, pretty yoked up, big square diesel chest, looking like an absolute blonde gorilla. Then as we scroll up, we come across this post. This was the first one where we could see there's a pretty significant physique transformation going on. And what is the top comment? Looking small, bro, for more PEDs. Someone else said, I like the natty look, keep going. My man's looking light right now, off the cycle, eh? Where are the six packs? Gordon Ryan usually has multiple six packs. Looking small, did you stop juicing? And we go up through the posts and we'll find the first hospital photo. Even this one here, so we click on this reel and we've got people saying, looking soft, off cycle maybe? Jesus, people, we get it, he's off the juice. That's what cycling does. You can't be on it 24/7, 365 days a week. A year, you mean? But there's still no proof of him taking anything, and if he was, it doesn't take away his skill sets. No amount of PEDs can help with that. And once again, what we have to take into consideration here, he is just sitting down, completely relaxed. If you get this guy in the gym, under good lighting, bit of sweat on him, got some electrolytes in his body, good hydration, good amount of glycogen in his muscles, and get him doing some bicep curls, he will look like he's transformed in a matter of minutes. So this is not someone who is out of shape. You can see he's got biceps, he's got forearms, he's got delts on the left. I'm actually pointing with my mouse, but it doesn't show up on my screen recorder. But look at his delts. His right arm, you can see he's got delts, he's got biceps. It's just not favorable lighting, and you sit there like he does, sit there like that, and you won't look like you lift that much. But once again, you've got to consider all these things. People don't think about that. They just go, oh, he's off the gear. And listen, guys, you know that I'm anti-steroids. I'm not even anti-steroids. I'm just anti-getting on steroids for the wrong reason. That's all I ever do. I just try and deter lads from getting on them when they don't actually need to get on them. They're like, oh, I want to look a little bit more athletic, so I'm going to get on the steroids and risk my health. No, that's what I'm against. And then this picture here, so we can see, obviously, he does look a little bit downsized, but we can see he's still in good shape. He's got them forearms popping, got a little bit of beef hanging off his delts and his triceps. But what do we see here in the comments? Damn, bro, you are like half the size you were in ADCC. Someone said, oldest 27-year-old in history. He does look a lot older for 27. Now, that is another thing. Steroids do age you. Long-term steroid use will make you look older than you really are. I done my video the other day talking about turning 35 and how I'm not where I want to be in life and all that. And I had a lot of you guys send me DMs on Instagram and comment and say, didn't think you looked 35, which I appreciate, boys. That's because I've stayed natural all these years. I've been a little bit down and out the last few months, looking a little bit worse for wear. But no steroids means you age appropriately, let's say. You don't age super fast. We see someone here has also said, did you come off the gear, bro? Now, you can see the frequency of comments really starts kicking it up a notch when we go on to this hospital photo right here. So this is where he gives a little bit of an update about the strep throat and being on penicillin, and the penicillin didn't work, so we had to get on amoxicillin. It was 40 days of antibiotics. So you can go and read that on his Instagram if you want, but you can see he's proper haters in the comments. Nikki Rod, this guy is also another BJJ athlete, and he is known for calling Gordon Ryan out about his steroid use. Nikki Rodriguez talks about being natural, and he's in pretty good shape himself. You can see there in the little preview. He's in good shape, and he talks about being natural loss, so I like him, but he's saying here, suffer in silence, you are soft. Gordon Ryan would probably destroy him. I mean, I don't know, there's probably some more BJJ experts here. I only follow it loosely, but I think Gordon Ryan would destroy him. Maybe because he's stronger, because he's on the gear. But yeah, someone else has said here, this has got 696 likes. Who could guess that taking incredible amounts of steroids at the age of 25 would have some consequences? Now, there's not a lot of research showing that steroids can cause this type of effect with regards to your gut bacteria and messing up your gut health. It's the antibiotics that have caused this. And once again, boys, you know that I'll call out the steroid use if it's appropriate, but this is probably not due to steroids. And one thing I hate is people who talk crap when they don't really know what they're talking about. That's what we call out on this channel. It's not just about steroids. No, we call out idiocracy, stupidity. Someone else said, stop taking steroids. If you want to live past the age of 50, stop doing steroids. You spend more time in the hospital than 99% of people your age. Stop taking steroids. Now, I actually half agree with him and half disagree with him. Yeah, stop taking steroids if you want to live longer. I'm all for that. I would prefer more longevity than absolutely looking super jacked. But these boys take steroids in order to be at the top of their game so they can earn more money. Even actors who take steroids. Chris Hemsworth, he's shaving years off his life, but he's getting paid 50 million to play Thor. So it's kind of like, oh, all right, okay, you weigh up the pros and cons. I'll take that 50 million if it means I'm going to die 5 years or 10 years sooner. Like, some people will happily take that chance and take that risk. Now, I don't know, would I? Would I take 50 million to shave 10 years off my life? Now I've got a family in that. I don't know. Listen, this video isn't about me, but I'm just contemplating. I think, you know, once you get to a certain level of wealth, does Chris Hemsworth need another 50 million? He might just be best becoming the natty Thor and do that instead. Maybe Gordon Ryan, maybe you should consider going natty. But what I disagree with this comment is he's saying you spend more time in hospital than 99% of people your age. Stop taking steroids. That has nothing to do really with steroids. He's spending time in hospital because of his gut, not because of taking steroids. And as I say, there's not much research showing that steroids negatively impact your gut health. There is a little bit, but it's not really conclusive. So you can't really say that here. And then another BJJ hater right here, the Florida boy, has also said don't do steroids, kids. Once again, not really knowing what they're talking about. All those steroids crashed your immune system. Take a look at those comments. It's like 90% of them are bad. And then he posted this, and the Florida boy hater said, do more steroids. I could just never imagine kicking a man whilst he's down like this. I make content to educate, and I know sometimes I'll say something that's sarcastic or in satire, and it might seem like I'm kicking someone whilst they're down, but ultimately I'm doing it from a place of trying to help. You've got people in these comments who are just absolute haters. How about you just don't comment anything? And I understand it comes with the territory. He probably understands this. He does talk crap a lot to other BJJ athletes. He understands that. He's got it coming, but he's probably sitting there pulling his hair out right now, wanting to respond to all these people, but he knows that if he does, it's not going to really look favourable on him. Someone said here, suffer in silence and stop posting pity pics. Yes. Steroids mess up the body. People keep saying this, suffered in silence. They must be referencing something that he said in the past and saying that he needs to listen to himself and suffer in silence. And then we've got this one. Good grief, you had 2 simple procedures done. What happened to men not complaining? Besides, no one wants to kill you. We just want you to stop talking and do jiu-jitsu. Okay, Rachel, how about you remove that Snapchat filter and show your true body fat percentage in your face? Oh, that's sly. Oh, that's sly. Oh, sorry, Rachel. It's quite a funny comment. Beats strep throat and diarrhea. Obviously, it was a lot more serious. The guy had to get surgery, for God's sake. Leave the poor fella alone. And then finally, we take a look at this one. Haha, take notes, kids. This is what happens when you fake your way to the top and pump your body full of steroids. Stop cycling and taking roids then. Your body is screaming for help, bruh. That's what happens when you abuse steroids, bro. You need to stop taking steroids. My friend, you have to stop taking steroids. They are destroying you. Simple as that. This is a good one. You're finished, kid. Give up now. The road is too tough back. You'll never be the same again. There's no way you can come back and be healthy, let alone be competitive in your sport, which has already passed you by. Give up. It's your only choice. I have lost all my faith in you. Hope that helps, man. That guy's just trolling. He knows that Gordon Ryan's going to take motivation from this. He even says, I'm not asking for sympathy or help, and in fact, I would prefer you to lose faith in me so I can prove you wrong like I always do. That is the energy, Gordon. I like it. Now, once again, as you've seen, everyone's saying that this reverse transformation is because of the steroids. The reason why he's in hospital is because of the steroids. And as I said earlier, there's dozens of factors which can impact your physique. Now, I've coached a good few clients who have been on steroids in the past, some higher level clients, people who've went for physique competitions and bodybuilding. I've also got many friends who've taken steroids, and you don't just come completely off overnight. There is a term called cycling on and off, because if you do just cut off your cycle completely, there's a high probability that you can mess up your testosterone, your estrogen levels, and crash your hormones. You start getting gyno in your nipples. Now, if he was on oral steroids, that's a completely different thing, because oral steroids can put a lot of strain and mess up your organs. That's why often if you take something like Anavar or Winstrol, best taking it with some milk thistle, because it helps your body, your organs, process it a little bit easier and take some of that strain and stress off your organs. So if he was on some orals, yeah, it does make sense to come off them, because he's got gut issues at the moment, and that's the last thing he needs, is to be putting oral steroids into his body. Whereas injecting something like Test, it's cleaner through the system, it's straight into the blood, it doesn't have to be processed by any of your organs, so the steroids aren't actually going to negatively impact him or impact this sickness that he's got at the moment. But it doesn't make any sense to completely crash your hormones and go cold turkey just because you're sick. I've known personal trainers throughout the years who've gotten sick and stayed on cycle, and they still lose size. They don't just keep all the gains because they're on gear. You still need the mechanical tension from training in order to maintain muscle mass. Now, steroids will slow down the muscle loss, but not as much as being able to train will. So this reverse transformation that you're seeing is a combination of less intracellular glycogen levels, less hydration possibly, worse lighting, having no pump or no longer getting mechanical tension from training on a regular basis, maybe less sodium and electrolyte levels. This is another thing. You have some people who get these gut issues and they try and take electrolytes, and the body can actually reject the electrolytes themselves, especially when taken from supplements, because your body has to break down the supplements differently than it has to break down the food. So it can be more of a stress on the gut to get electrolytes in, so then you have to try and get the electrolytes from food and fluids. It's very difficult to manage. And then finally, yeah, maybe less steroids. So it's not just a simple matter of always off cycle. Reverse transformations or muscle loss really isn't that drastic if the person continues to train. Just look at Larry Wheels. Sure, he's lost a lot of size, but he still maintains a lot of his muscle mass because he's still able to train with intensity. But we let our falls from the top motivate us. Gordon will be back and he'll let all these negative comments motivate him. I've never quite understood commenting negative, hateful stuff on people's Instagram posts. What do you think of this? Make sure you subscribe and like this video to support this type of content on this channel. We upload 7 days a week. Turn on that notification bell as well so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you all tomorrow.